What's up with it, brother?
Life is good, man.
No complaints?
Nah, man, as long as, you know, I just need like 4 to 5 core people to be healthy,
right,
and then I'm good.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Man, never better, man.
That's good, man. It makes me happy.
Never better, just run around making my rounds.
How are you thinking about, like, it's super interesting for me from afar, and obviously, you know, just in culture I know about you, and then obviously Kenny Austin's a good friend, and I know all about that, and Boyd and everything.
Right.
It's super interesting to me because I feel like your story and how you roll is why I like hip hop so much, because I think of it more as hustling and entrepreneurship than even necessarily the music.
Absolutely.
How are you thinking about how ridiculous your opportunity is the next 30, 40 years? Because you've got so much fucking leverage. Like people really talk good shit behind your back that know you. Like, whether it's cliche Beats by Dre, or like what I'm up to, which is buying brands, like your ability to create real wealth creation is unique in your space. And I was really excited to meet you just to get a sense of how you're thinking about that. Because for example, like I think you should buy Wheaties. For like I'm being serious. Like that's what I think you can do. I think a lot of kids are gonna make money, but you're an entrepreneur. Like when I look at you entrepreneur, artist. At least from afar. I don't know you well enough yet, but it's real obvious to me. You know, you could always sense your own from afar.
But that's how it works though. You feel the energy. I mean, for me, it's just like that was my thing. I even got into music off of being an entrepreneur. I know enough to know, like, I feel like you're using music as your gateway setup for your mogul ambitions. It's a soundtrack. Just to keep them tuned in so you can do other things.
It's leverage.
It's a vehicle.
It's fucking leverage.
Yeah, it's a vehicle. It's definitely a vehicle.
One thing that's real cool too that I want to note is like what we do and like how we do all these brand partnerships and different things.
I feel bad about other people. We can get them in here. Yeah, let's get them in here. Yeah, I noticed dude was like, let's get out, but like we'll make room for that. Kick all this garbage out.
Yeah, that's what you said, Wheaties, huh? I see that.
Yeah, man. My whole thing is like, what am I, man? Real pleasure. How are things? Good. Take a seat right there. My whole thing, I was telling A-Rod the other day, he's like, we're gonna make an app and make this money, me and J-Lo. I'm like, dude, you need to buy fucking Fruit of the Loons and put your fucking sexy asses in those underwear with J-Lo and buy that for 130 million and then sell it for $1 billion. Like even what you did with Avion, like I think it's like now it's very obvious to me that the next step in the game of the thing that drives our culture, which is fucking hip hop, is first it was like you got pennies, then they became silver, then it went to paper, but you know, and you know this, and you've done it probably outside of like 3 or 4 other artists better than anybody. The next step is fucking for real, and that's why I do think like Wheaties. Like what I'm building here is I want to build a machine, a Death Star, and then I want to buy Tylenol or Wheaties or K-Swiss. That's why I did a collaboration with them. I want to buy big ass fucking businesses and run them through my culture machine, which is different than your culture machine, and make real fucking economics. Timbos. You need to buy Timberland, the brand, and fucking reboot it. Because you're not gonna put up all 380 million. I mean, I don't know your paper, but like that's a lot. But there's a lot of people, you can own 25% of it and fucking get, 15 people to put up $30 million checks each, and then buy Timbo for 280 and sell it for 3.1 billion 7 years later. That's the next step if you're really playing what at least I think you have the potential to play.
That's
it's nice to make $2 a bottle on some fucking cognac, but like that's a whole different thing than buying Starter, rebooting. You see what's going on with Champion? Champion was bullshit 24 months ago. You saw what's going on with Fila. You see what's going on with Tommy Hilfiger. Like where's fucking Nautica right now? Garbage. You fucking get behind it and get fucking Atlanta behind it, and it's back. And you're not gonna, and what you and a lot of your homies aren't thinking about just yet, and I didn't think about this back in the day either, is you don't have to put up all the money. You need to be the machine that it goes through. You'll put up 5 million, $1 million, I don't wanna count your money. You can put up some money, but you can raise the rest and get 20% for being the machine. That's the next step, man. Honestly, that's where That's where you buy the Hawks instead of sitting courtside.
Wow. Talk that shit, man. Talk it.
I really think you've got that potential from afar.
Right.
I really do. I think there's 4 or 5 people that can, and I know you can because you are businessman first.
Right.
A lot of people are now saying it because it's cool, but they're artists first, comma, they want to be an entrepreneur because it's the flavor of the decade. But that show'll be over once everybody loses their money.
Wow. Always does.
Always does. That's right. Exactly.
Right.
But you need to be thinking that way.
Right. No, I'm locked in. I'm definitely, I mean, I never thought Wheaties, but shit.
You need, like, right? Like, I think people think too much. When you're cool, you think about cool products. But like, there's nothing wrong with blow pops.
Right.
And you can make a lot of things cool too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
your K-Swiss. Like this is Gary's K-Swiss shoe.
Dope.
And you know, a lot of people in hip hop would go to Nike or Adidas or whatever, but when you went to K-Swiss, it's kind of like.
because I want to buy Pony. And get Spud Webb's ass to put him back on and bring it back, you know? Like, nostalgia. Nostalgia's underpriced. That's my biggest thesis. So like, what did you grow up eating? What did you grow up wearing that's not relevant now? First thing I did when I did the K-Swiss joint was I went on Google and found pictures of fucking Dr. Dre, Ice-T, everybody wearing fucking K-Swiss as Mike Tyson in his prime. Cause I remember, right? How old are you?
38.
Right, so you might remember it a little bit, but I don't know.
That, fucking was good.
40 something?
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I thought, which means you should remember, right? And that's what I'm spending all my time on. Build a fucking big ass fucking machine, and then whatever the fuck I buy, deploy that fucking army behind it and go hard. Because it's very obvious, culture will accept anything back. You just gotta make it contemporary. And when you and the way you have leverage, like I meet businessmen that are in the fashion business in Italy, and they're like, when I'm in Atlanta, I go and meet Jeezy and take a picture, and like you have something for real.
Wow. I hear you.
It's just the truth.
Loud and clear.
So that's what
We gotta build though, cause this is my guy right here. You know, he already put me in pocket one time, so I can imagine that me and you sit down and you start building.
Yeah, man, and you're talking about Avion?
Yeah.
My man, I'll you know. That happened because me and fucking Ken Austin sat there and yeah, it's way beyond that. That's 5 fucking years ago.
Right.
Like it's like what I'm talking about is like it's way better than it was back then. You and I didn't have the leverage with Kenny back then.
Right.
Meaning we were still in social media entrepreneurs like you and me. We still were in endorsement mode. Now we don't need. Now you can sell fucking shit direct to consumer.
Right.
Like you make that hoodie, you don't need Macy's, you don't need Target, you don't need Walmart. Shit's about to get crazy.
Right.
Like the people that have the leverage are the people closest to the people. Got it? Because everything in the middle is commoditized now. You don't have to be good and go to Bentonville and get Walmart to put you on. You don't have to be on television and spend $10 million. So now that the middle has been commoditized, and you and me, all the leverage is going to us.
We were just talking about Cat That, David and
Right.
Micah.
They're good people.
And like, that's exactly, like that's what he's doing. Like the sweater, the hoodie, like the snowman,
I know.
everything. Like you're
I know.
doing it all right. The craziest thing to me,
So like to me, the snowman is like, go buy an ice cream brand. And parlay that shit, right? Like go buy a fucking ice cream brand and buy it from Unilever when they fucked it up for like 49 million, make it hot and sell it back to fucking Coca-Cola for 280 and make 240 quick. And that's real money.
Right.
My man right here, right? Cool kid, right? Look what he's wearing Vans. Like that, 4 years ago, that brand has got no pulse. But it did 12 years ago, 19 years ago. Remember OP and Jams and fucking, we can sit here and go down memory lane, all those opportunities.
Damn.
That's how I'm thinking.
The craziest thing is like when you started working with Avion, right? Your first tweet or your first IG post, I don't know if anyone told you this, the sales went up like crazy in Detroit. And that makes sense. Because not only, you know, Atlanta, whatever, but he's hot in Detroit,
I know.
whatever. Everyone has their own cities, right? But where you took that brand is unbelievable. And like when we do all these brand deals, a lot of times they don't last a year, 2 years. And like how many years you can do it, and now you got the water.
That's because the one thing with him that's different is the youngsters fuck with him on a respect level that's different. That's why I'm gonna win. It's not how cool or big I'm gonna be. 17 million Instagram followers in 4 years is gonna be great. It'll be cool, but it's not gonna make people, like I'm not gonna be able to move America to all of a sudden by myself give a fuck about whatever the fuck I deploy that against. The thing you have is the tentacles as an entrepreneur and businessman within people that are moving culture. It doesn't matter what the Migos are doing, it matters who the Migos look up to. That's where scale comes in, man. You understand? That's how
entrepreneurs grew up listening to you.
100, what the
People
course.
running Facebook grew up listening to you.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the influence, it's not your own sheer, you fucking, like fuck man, you could move a product without you ever posting it on social ever once. It's the people underneath you that fuck with you, at scale for real, who are moving the needle. And you've got favors in your pocket.
Right.
I know, I've done a lot of homework. You got favors in your pocket. So favors are smart when you're going for $1 billion.
Right.
Like if you go and spend, you know, if you go raise capital from a bunch of wealthy people and have $280 million and then go and buy Fila, and the mission is for the next 4 years, 7 years, real time, not 12 months, to get that and sell it to Nike for $2.3 billion because they're whack in 2029 and they need a hot brand, that's when you call in every fucking favor.
Right.
That's what I do. All I'm doing right now is trying to bring value.
Right.
Because one day I'm gonna care about something for real. You understand?
No, real shit.
That's where I'm at. Like I'm not, you understand? I got leverage with everybody.
Right.
I'm just giving, even with you, like through it, like that's give.
Right, you just got one in your back pocket.
And the best part for me is, and I don't know you, the key to that whole system is not to be disappointed when people don't come through.
Okay.
I don't know you and I know I'm unusual with this. Like I could do everything for Boyd and I've done a lot for him. And if I asked him for a favor for real in 2 years and he said no, for some reason that doesn't fuck with me. It cripples my dad. Cripples him. But for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna worry about what was going through his mind. I ain't got time to analyze what was going through his mind at this minute where he didn't understand the score. It's like that Bronx Tale movie where the guy's like, you got off easy because that kid owes you 20 bucks, you know he's a piece of shit. Remember that little scene? Like that's how I think about it. Like if I go in for the ask and it doesn't come through, I might be sad for 100th of a second, because be like, fuck. You know, like I helped that dude for real. Like why the fuck? You know? What's that? Because looking back, our defense loses. It's prevent defense in football. You've been winning the whole game, and now you decide with 2 minutes left to change your defense because there's 2 minutes left and they score a touchdown. It's like classic.
Right.
That's life. I don't care who stole money from me. Like, it just saves me time to go on the offense. So that's what I'm trying to collect. I'm trying to collect real partnerships and real friends for 20, 30, you know, we may be in our 40s, but like, I fuck with people. Dude who built this real estate project for $28 billion, he's 70 fucking 7. And he texted me just now, he's like, let's do Saturday morning breakfast. Steve Ross owns the Dolphins.
Right.
Like, he's a straight fucking gangster. He's got as much as energy as you and me, wants it, still hungry as fuck, 77. When you're an entrepreneur, you're not playing on your looks.
Right.
You're not playing on your swag. You know?
Yeah.
So I think we got 40 more years of like real game time.
Right. Right. The real 40.
I think so.
Right.
We're much smarter than we used to be.
Right.
You know? Right. Like that's the best part of not being an athlete. Athletes get slower, entrepreneurs get smarter.
Right. Never thought about it like that. Yeah, we definitely got to build. We should do Sunday morning.
One thing you can help me with, I'm looking to go hard at Atlanta next year.
Okay.
My next shoe drop, I'm definitely gonna launch party there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to 2 to 3 Hawk games in the back half of in the next year during the season, sit courtside. Just like Atlanta is literally the seed of culture, in my opinion.
Wow.
No, it is.
It really is, because that's where hip hop's culture's epicenter is, and then hip hop's culture becomes white kids' culture. It's the bedrock. So I'm gonna make a real commitment to it. We're gonna be coming through a lot.
Come to Atlanta, we'll hit you up.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time.
For sure.
Does he and Richie Soft know each other?
You never met
South?
So I managed a producer, Richie South. He's Future and Thug's new guy. He did All the Smoke, and he did High End with Chris Brown. And he's from Southside guy.
Okay, yeah, he's with that cat.
Yeah, but
808 Mafia.
He's cool with Southside, but he's with Future every day.
Okay.
But he says what's up.
You should meet him.
Living legend.
You should meet him.
It'd be great. Right. I think I hit up Stone Cold. Tried to set it up last time I was in Atlanta, but I hit Solomon. But you're gonna meet him someday. So.
Let's put it together.
That's inevitable, but you should meet him. He's a good kid. Coming up real.
Okay.
What else? What can I help you guys with? What else is on your mind? Because I know I went.
No, I would love to just.
I've been waiting for this meeting. I want to tell you what was on my mind.
Right.
I didn't even wait.
I just would love to, just to continue to build. You know what I mean, and stay in pocket because I've definitely been.
Listen, man, you can hit me every minute.
Right.
This is my framework. This is a advertising agency. Right. We work with all the biggest brands, Budweiser, all sorts of brands, right? But it's a front. I literally think of this whole $150 million company. It is. I'm being dead serious. This entire $150 million company is like a cleaners in the Bronx in 1972, right. And downstairs is the casino.
Right.
That's what this is. Everything I do here is not about making money. Let me chop it up a different way. We're gonna do $150 in revenue this year. I'm making 1.7 million in profit. Right. I'll make more money speaking 6 times this year than this whole company will make me.
Wow.
Because I'm investing into the fucking machine.
Right.
So that when I buy, Bubblicious,
right.
I'm gonna be able to turn it and make everybody fuck with it.
Right. Because you got the machine.
The machine.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I think you have a weird machine. From afar, you have a how people fuck with you machine. I think if you organize, you might really be able to build something really substantial, man. You're sitting in the epicenter of, I think, China's coming up, but like America is still the brand in the world. And I do think this is the fucking place. But fuck, man, I think Atlanta's culture.
Wow.
And I think you need to be super thoughtful about how much leverage that actually is. Wow. I think you guys take it for granted.
Wow.
Because, it just feels normal.
You're in it.
You're so in it, it feels normal. You take it for granted. I just think it's fucking really matters. At a level that fucking confuses me. Meaning just watching it go from, L.A. Reid and Outkast, just watching it my whole life, the leverage is so real.
Right. It's only continuing to grow too.
So. The thing that fucks with me the most is the difference between 21 Savage, Russ, the Migos, Danny Glover, the Hollywood shit that's happening in the suburbs. There's just so much really happening. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at people's attention. That's why I invested in Facebook and Twitter and Uber before everybody else. I knew it was gonna happen. I really think you guys can build some big ass businesses.
I'm all open. I'm totally open.
Do you know what private equity is?
Absolutely.
Good. Find every single private equity firm in Atlanta and just start networking. Really understand it, because the new version of private equity is what I think you need to be thinking about. Private equity people would get everybody to put up the money, they would keep 20% of the action, and they went to Harvard and Yale and had finance degrees and worked at Goldman Sachs. I think the next version of them, yeah man, there's just something, music is one of the 4 to 5 things that humans give a fuck about, right? And fashion's another one, and now you're on 2 of the fucking 5 things people give a fuck about.
Right.
So, one thing I would give you a huge piece of advice. Don't let any vulnerability happen in Atlanta from your status of who you are to the people that are 28 to 31, 26 to 35. You need to make sure 15 to 25 looks at you the same way they did. I didn't bring up Richie South for us. I brought up Richie for you.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
You have leverage.
Right.
Same reason that all the fucking, hip hop kids coming through and meeting with me, I have leverage as an entrepreneur. No fucking athlete and fucking artist gave a fuck about me 4 years ago. Right. Now entrepreneurship matters, now they do. My biggest piece of advice is get somebody, yourself, I don't know your crew, to really have your ear to all the shit and get to those kids super fucking early and just give them love. Build fucking real leverage. I'm on fucking FaceTime with Gunna every day.
Wow.
Get in early. because that's giving them real love. And then they're gonna be the fucking framework of the thing that you're gonna actually wanna pull off.
Yeah. Sure.
And you have leverage. You fucking DM fucking Young Thug 18 months ago, he loses his fucking mind.
Right.
Less today.
Right. Right. It's real. It's really real.
You know, that's really matters to me, because that's a big leverage point for you.
Right. I get it. Totally.
Of course, because it's what you fucking did to get here.
Right.
But this is the time you triple down on that shit,
Right.
and what most people do at this point is go the other way. They get fancy.
Right. I'm ready to get my hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to jump in head first, man. But we're definitely gonna have to build. Definitely, I'm with that totally. And,
What are you guys working on now? Like, what's on your mind? Obviously, I've seen some of the new project and all that.
So putting the project out, just finished a compound in Atlanta, which is, studio, just a whole compound. So it's gonna be easy to run the younger guys studio. So we got 2 rooms.
Just got it.
Thing, getting my.
Fuck, you got that now?
Yes, sir.
You need to get every fucking, like, I don't know who the fucking ear is in this crew, all of you, nobody, like, you need to fucking get every one of those kids through.
Right. Right.
It's just leverage.
And look at this guy. This
Why?
conversation I have with him every day.
Because he's the gatekeeper?
Yeah, but but I had this conversation with him every day.
How so?
Same conversation you have.
That we need to get these kids through?
Every day.
And what do you think? Gotta be selective, or you're cool with it?
Nah, I'm
Seriously.
I'm pretty much cool with it.
What's the pretty much part?
Go back and forth about it. I bring certain things to the table. We had to weed out the bullshit.
Of course.
So that's pretty much it, just weeding out the
No,
bullshit.
but
There's so many of
that's
them.
my 2018 plan is to really just get my hands.
You're a straight fucking legend to these kids.
Yeah, get back out here and
Right.
really move.
But you know what's crazy? And people get caught. People get caught because you can get irrelevant real fast. Like, you don't want to know how many 17-year-olds in Atlanta don't really know.
Wow.
It happens.
Just like that.
You did it to somebody else.
Wow.
Exactly.
You know, I had a crazy meeting with 50 Cent once where he was like trying to say something, and I was like, you're not as famous as you think.
Wow. Wow.
Which was a little bit of a mistake because he got mad, but got a little aggressive. But I was trying to help him.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck do you think you did?
Wow.
I'm like, Big Daddy Kane wasn't cool for 4 years. I remember. You know? Like, it just happens real quick. That's your leverage. Showing them love on the come up. And you know what's gonna happen. We all know what's happening when it's going good for Coach K now, right? Like, if he's gonna make a decision to try to put somebody on for a minute, you gotta at least take the bet. It could become Biggie, it could become Mace, but it doesn't matter. It's 50-50. What? You didn't wanna waste 3 hours? Got it? It's just math. You know a machine's gonna try to make him good. He may suck, he may be great, but you know the energy of the machine's gonna be behind it. You know the crews that are winning. You know if Metro Boomin's gonna go make a fucking album with somebody and you haven't heard about him, you better fucking meet him. He may be great, he may not, but you know he's gonna have a 50-50 chance. And it's definitely worth 3 hours of you fucking with him and teaching him as the legend. You need to own that. There shouldn't be a single fucking artist out of Atlanta that comes out in over the next 7 years who doesn't reference you in their second album of like, thanks for the support.
Right.
That's a real shit.
Cause that's when you buy something and get and you cash in those chips.
So you're gonna support you just like you.
Then all of a sudden you make $700 million on the flip. Got it?
Got it.
All on just what? First of all, they're gonna help you. That 3 hours with somebody that's 19, that's fucking raw and's got a different perspective, they're just gonna give you a different perspective too, and you're gonna know exactly what to do with it, which is gonna affect your next project.
It's like what you're doing with T Grizzly.
Wow.
He's helping
Yep.
Grizzly out.
Times 1,000. Or 113, but more than one.
Wow. I like the way you put those numbers together.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's there for you, man.
I get it.
If you don't do it, somebody else is gonna take it.
We can't let them do that. We can't let them do that.
You know?
Yeah. We can't let that happen. And by the way, that's what I'm good at. So it's like.
Well, that's, you know, honestly, I'm giving you advice based on feedback I've been getting from other people. Like, it's just fucking time.
Right.
It's if you, like, people love to say they're gonna get their hands dirty.
Right.
But then you actually got to get your hands dirty. Like, it's not, sometimes you're, you know, you're doing mogul life. Like, sometimes you know, this kid who's got like you know, you're taking risks. Your time is your fucking biggest asset. But it's where all the leverage is.
I'm on it.
Think about everybody who didn't fuck with 21 Savage 27 months ago that's like, fuck, I should have taken that meeting.
Right. We talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
About what?
It's him. I heard him on a few records. I'm like records you wouldn't even. I heard him on the Bad Bunny record. I'm like.
How well do you know Bad Bunny? I saw him in your video for
Yeah, we kicked it. We kicked it a few times. I pulled up on him, but that's another thing.
You know what's an interesting thing for them? The Latino stuff. I know.
You know
that to me is the next wave.
No, we kicked it. I met him in Miami. He came to Atlanta. Reached out. I wanted to put up on the show. Called the show. We talked a little bit. We've been chopping up here and there.
You trying to make music with those guys?
We had that conversation. You know, he doesn't speak a lot of English. So
right. Yeah.
There's only so much you can accomplish.
Yeah.
But,
I just got back from Medellin.
Right. Do you know somebody in this camp that speaks English?
I know a lot of people in like J Balvin's camp and a bunch of those people.
Right.
But yeah, I know people who speak English in that world.
Right. And I'm just saying as far as this camp, that's been the biggest thing was like, it's trying to just, you know, communicate with them.
There's a startup I just looked at that's 2 years away from you having earpieces that you can't even see, and literally every language somebody speaks, you just translate and back and forth.
Wow.
That's it. I'm telling you, 2 years they say, 5 years from now, that shit is fucking cracked.
It's like her.
Her.
Is it her?
Her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cracked. Go to China, put in the fucking thing, be like, oh cool, yeah. Like,
What'd you say?
Bad Bunny with you, that's smart, man. If you're the first,
you need to hack culture, man.
Put 'em on.
More culture. Don't get fancy. Listen, I love you and P. Diddy. I love it. It's fucking mogul life. It's iconic shit.
Right.
That 19-year-old girl in Alpharetta doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
In fact, Bad Bunny probably worships you. If you're in his fucking
They
video,
all
he's
worship
like,
you as long as you educate them. I gotta go. It's a charity event. Let's get this photo. I don't have a card, but let's get numbers.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
Let's do that ASAP.
What's your
I
number?
gotta know what you're listening to in the morning.
What you got?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Good.